Winter in southern Ontario. Short days, cold days. But these are followed by spring. The days get longer and warmer. This is followed by summer. It's a time for animals to feed and plants to grow strong. In fall, the days grow shorter, the nights colder, and soon the leaves will be dropping. The temperature hovers around minus 20 degrees. Cold wind blows. It's winter in Algonquin Park, Ontario. But just as in southern Ontario, winter gives way to spring. New life returns. Frogs chirp, birds sing. And like southern Ontario, Algonquin Park summer is a time of plenty. As a photographer and naturalist, I know these seasons and I choose the right times to be there to observe wildlife and the changes in plants. And I have to adjust the way I dress and the type of equipment I use to match the seasonal changes. Just as there are changes through the year, there are changes through the day too. In the morning, the robin sings. In the afternoon, the robin hunts. And in the evening, the robin goes to roost and rest for the next day. In my backyard, there are changes too. Some of them are daily. A raccoon sleeps in the tree for most of the day during the summer. But at night, it is out and active, looking for foods, and sometimes looking for food in my garbage bin. In the nearby woodlot, I know that nighttime is the time when owls are active. It's a time when they hunt. During the day, hawks hunt, and that's the time I look for them. Those last were examples of daily changes, but let's get back to that robin. In the winter, the robin in my backyard is probably actually living down in Florida. Come March, I start to see him as the snow melts. I can watch him feed, raise his young, and then come September and October, he begins to migrate south again. And by December, most robins have gone. Examples of seasonal changes are all around us. A fawn in the spring hides in the long grass. It relies on its spotted coat for camouflage to hide it. By December, that same fawn is almost the size of its parents, and its coat has changed to a thick winter one. Black bear cubs are born in the winter in a den while their mother sleeps. It's called hibernation. By the time we see them in the spring, they are tiny, robust, playful little critters. By the end of their first summer and into their first fall, the cubs are starting to get fat and are much bigger. Winter is the hardest season of all. No new food is being produced. The trees have lost their leaves. For the black bear cub, it's time to go into hibernation. It will sleep the winter away with its mother. Some animals, like the chickadee, are able to survive on the food that is left over. But others, especially birds, migrate south. This is a trumpeter swan, leaving its northern lake. Here in Ontario, seasonal changes are part of the yearly routine. We get used to them, and we change the way we dress and the way we act and the things we do to reflect those changes. It would be wrong to think that the entire world has the same kind of changes that we see in Ontario. In Africa, the baobab tree has all its leaves when the rainy season arrives. But when the dry season comes, it loses its leaves. But there is no summer, spring, winter, fall. It is either wet or dry here. I remember one time visiting a hippo pool. The hippos were crowded. This was during the dry season. There wasn't much rain, and it had been dry for a number of months. The hippos were crowded into what little water there was left in their water hole. But the next time I saw them, several months later, the rains had come, and the river had expanded, and their water hole was now part of a river. The hippos had spread out. They seemed a lot happier and healthier then. All around us are examples of daily and seasonal changes. What seasonal changes do you see? What daily changes do you see?